Hey guys, welcome to Windshine Audio. If you are new to the channel, let me introduce myself. I'm Alvin, founder of the company based in Singapore. A couple of weeks ago, I shared a video of the evolution of the Venus 2 and the Venus 2 12th anniversary DAC. One of the comments on the YouTube video was, can I do a comparison of the Pontus 2 and the Pontus 2 12th anniversary? I have the deck with me. I thought it might be interesting to show you, or a quick introduction to show you the evolution of the Pontus since 2017 till now in year 2023. If you are watching this video a couple of years later, this video is taken in year 2023, just for your information. We released the Pontus deck in year 2017. This is the year where DENAFRIPS is known to the global international market. DENAFRIPS founded in year 2011 or 12 in China, Guangzhou, and they have been selling the deck in China for Chinese market. I came across their product in year 2013 or 2014, and I approached the owner and showed interest to market the product for international market. The company evolved from using chip-based deck to not so chip-based deck back then. It started using multi-bit deck from a company called Texas Instruments, the very famous PCM 1704K R2R DAC chip. But in view of the discontinuation of the 1704K R2R chips, the owner or the chief engineer decided to move on to design their own R2R ladder deck. The R&D has been going on for a few years, and we finally see a product that is sellable, that meets the sound quality, in my opinion, at the end of year 2016. The first release was the Aries deck, the DENAFRIPS Aries R2R deck. And subsequently, DENAFRIPS released the higher end model, the Pontus deck. The Pontus is positioned one tier above the Aries deck, and it is one tier below the Venus deck. So this Pontus deck is released in year 2017. We have it for quite a number of years. Before I go into that, I just want to show you this Pontus deck is a little bit smaller or thinner compared to the Pontus 2. It uses dual O-core transformer that is 30 VA instead of the latest one, 60 watt, or you can call it 60 VA. The differences between the two, the Pontus and the Pontus 2, are quite big in my opinion. The Pontus uses what we call an Amanero USB receiver. So we generalize the name, we standardize the name of the DSP module in this Pontus deck. We call it Amanero Dsp. But in reality, we use Amanero USB receiver for the Pontus and an FPGA from Altera or Intel to do the DSP processing, the digital signal processing for the Pontus. I have the top cover loosened. I always want to show you guys what it looks like internally, and it might be interesting to show you the original Pontus deck that was released in year 2017. Here we go. This is it. This is the, before I forget, my faithful dragon pointer for my daughter. This is the Amanero DSP that I talked about just now. So this is the DSP that processed the digital signal. The USB receiver is from Amanero. The FPGA module is from a company Intel Altera. FPGA called, we call it 22E. This is how it looks like for the DSP module. True balance R2R ladder, capacitor bank, the signature of DENAFRIPS, and it processes the signal in true balance and output it over XLR or RCA at the back panel. This is how the back panel look like. Oops, it's still pretty heavy. This is how the back panel look like. A bundle of digital input ranging from RCA coaxial, BNC coaxial, optical input, AES EBU input, as well as at that point in time it's pretty rare, I2S input over HDMI. This deck was selling pretty well. It is, in my opinion, pretty close to the original Venus. So Venus wasn't selling as well as the Pontus, in all honesty. So this people who want to upgrade from the Aries deck will go for the Pontus or the Terminator. So Venus was quite a middle child at that point in time. But subsequently, of course, DENAFRIPS upgraded the Venus to Venus 2, and Venus gained a little bit of attention from the market lately for that reason. But this is the Pontus 2 that, this is the Pontus that is using a smaller transformer, so you don't see a protrude bottom chassis out from these units. So this is how you identify an older Pontus. Several of the customer is still using this. In my opinion, it's a pretty good sounding one with the Modular Dsp. In somewhere in year 2019, mid of 2019, DENAFRIPS released a new DSP module that is based on a proprietary USB module using STM32 AMR CPU processor. That particular USB receiver, as well as another type of Altera FPGA, we call it 22F. I'll show it to you later. And that DSP module rolled out in mid of 2019. We sent it to the customer to upgrade. It was available for customer to purchase at a smaller price to upgrade the DSP module with the latest 22F, or we call it DSP BGA module, to upgrade the sound quality. We did send the module to some of the reviewer, and it received an award from 6 Moon. The editor thought that this particular small DSP upgrades elevate the sound quality. So in year 2019, Pontus was undergoing some upgrade that we did not announce. Let me just go to the Pontus 2. For that reason, let me put this aside. Before I forget, I should cover the top cover and put it on the floor. Okay, let's just leave it here. Oops, it's heavy. So we released this DSP module. This is the DSP BGA. Why we call it BGA is really because this Altera 22F FPGA chip is BGA packaging. So it's a generic name for the packaging of the chips. It's called BGA. So this DSP module rolled out and was available for the customer to purchase to upgrade their Pontus, Venus, or the Terminator. So it received quite a high praise on the market, where I think the sound quality improvement aspect was really, there are more extension in the treble, there are more details, and it sounds less warm compared to the older generation DENAFRIPS deck. So this was released in mid of year 2019, and the Pontus was undergoing some upgrades where we started seeing a bigger chassis like this. The width and the depth is the same, but the height of the unit is taller now. You notice there's this portion of the bottom panel is protruded. It was really because we needed larger space to house the bigger transformer. Two 60 watt, 60 VA all-core transformer is implemented in this Pontus, and subsequently DENAFRIPS decided to call it a Pontus 2 in early year 2020. I have the PSU with me here, and I thought I can show it to you. This is how the PSU of the Pontus 2, or the later part of the Pontus, look like. Two 60 watt all-core transformer encased in a metal case, capacitor bank with red Prima capacitor. This is the upgrades that we did not publicly announce in year 2019. So the sound improvement was pretty great for the Pontus deck, and it received a lot of review at the end of 2019. So you started seeing people are getting attention to the Pontus deck, and in early year 2020, DENAFRIPS decided to call it a Pontus 2. So Pontus 2 in reality is, we have transformer upgrade as well as the DSP module upgrade. If you purchase the Pontus in September 2019 onwards, we consider this as a Pontus 2. The motherboard is a little bit different compared to the original Pontus as well. This is the Pontus, or the Pontus 2 in the later part of 2019. I know it's confusing. In my opinion, I confuse myself sometimes as well. So in mid of year 2019, DENAFRIPS started to modify the Pontus deck to have several aspects of improvement. This is the motherboard of the Pontus 2, or the Pontus released in after mid of 2019. There are several caps that you see here in red color. These are the caps from WIMA, a company based in Germany, and it's a film caps that DENAFRIPS used to tune the sound quality of the Pontus. At the end of 2019, I think the Pontus received some of the high praise from the reviewer, be it the YouTuber reviewer or the magazine reviewer, and think the Pontus 2 gained a lot of attention on the market then. This motherboard seated on top of the encased power supply unit in this fashion. I'm not sure whether I can show you. Okay, this is how it looks like internally. The PSU is seated at the bottom of the chassis and the motherboard is on top of it. So it's pretty much modular design, where this is the power supply unit and this is the motherboard, as well as we have a modular DSP. So this DSP is pretty interesting, where the firmware is user upgradable. You can upgrade the FPGA firmware by using the USB receiver through the USB receiver over a Windows or a Mac computer. Did I say DSP upgrade? Yes, we may roll out FPGA firmware upgrade in the later part of this year to upgrade the sound quality of the DENAFRIPS deck overall. I'll keep that in my sleeve for now. Okay, this is the motherboard of the Pontus 2 deck, and as you know, 12th anniversary is important to us and DENAFRIPS released Terminator Plus 12th Anniversary Edition in October 2022. So many of you expected that the deck, like the Ares, Pontus, and the Venus, will have 12th Anniversary Edition release as well. Yes, you're right. So DENAFRIPS decided to upgrade the Pontus 2 with the name of Pontus 2 12th Anniversary Edition. It's pretty much the same like the Pontus 2. Width, depth, and the height is the same. There's no transformer upgrade. The upgrades of this Pontus 2 12th Anniversary Edition is really the tuning of the motherboard, the main board, as well as the power supply unit and the conductor from the power supply unit to the motherboard. How do you tell this is the Pontus 2 12th Anniversary Edition? I'm not sure whether the camera can capture this. There's this small little 12 marking on the front panel. So this is really the three differences that you can tell this is the Pontus 2 12th Anniversary Edition. Components upgrade of the power supply unit, components upgrade of the main board, the DAC motherboard, and the conductor upgrade from the power supply unit to the motherboard. I'm going to show you what is inside this Pontus 2 12th Anniversary Edition, but unfortunately, the Pontus 2 12th Anniversary Edition is difficult to show you the power supply unit because the power supply unit is attached to the motherboard. I can't loosen the bottom panel to show you the power supply unit. Otherwise, the power supply unit may press on the main board, and I do not like the excessive force that is pressing on the motherboard, where all the connector will be stressed in the sense. To remove the top cover is pretty simple. Loosen the two screws at the back and you can pop this top cover open. As you can tell, we do not put a sticker to say seal will be broken if warranty will be void if seal is broken. DENAFRIPS believe that even with that sticker, it doesn't stop people from opening the top cover. Even the top cover is open and the seal is broken, we will still have to somehow honor the warranty, so we don't put that sticker for that reason. But we do have serial number. The serial number can be found at the bottom of the unit. It says it is made in China by DENAFRIPS Guangzhou, and there's a serial number that tag along with this unit to identify this unit is purchased from Windshine Audio. Okay, right. This is how the Pontus 2 12th Anniversary Edition look like internally. Again, my pointer. There are several green color caps here, as well as the red color WIMA caps you've seen on this main board. So these are the tuning that DENAFRIPS done to the motherboard to upgrade the sound quality of the Pontus 12th Anniversary. Of course, all these changes are subjected to change. So if DENAFRIPS find that there's a better way to improve sound quality along the way, you may see some variant of this populated component on the main board. But this is how DENAFRIPS did the Pontus 2 12th anniversary edition upgrade. At the back of the panel, we see abundance of digital input that is exactly the same as the Pontus release in year 2017. That did not change. And a pair of RCA and XLR output for single-ended and true balance connection. All in all, I think Pontus 2 12th anniversary edition is still the best price and performance ratio deck in the DENAFRIPS DAC lineup. If you have system that is of this league, I would recommend the Pontus 2 12th anniversary edition to you. Just for size comparison, the Pontus 2 12th anniversary edition is a lot bigger than the Aries deck. I have an Aries deck here, is stacked with all this Pontus DAC here, but let me just pull this guy out. Here we go. This is the Aries deck. It's the most popular deck of DENAFRIPS DAC, and it looks, or in size comparison wise, it is a lot smaller. So I know why people want to go for this Aries or the annual deck for that matter. It is smaller, easier to place, and it's a good entry deck for you to have a feel of how DENAFRIPS R2R ladder decks sound like. But most of the people that went for the annual or the Aries 2 will eventually upgrade to the higher end model. So if you reach out to us and share with us your system configuration right now, we'll be able to make a recommendation for you as to which DAC is more suitable for you. Right, it's not a pretty short video, it's a pretty long one, but I do hope that I cover the differences between the Pontus 2 12, the Pontus 2, as well as the original Pontus. If you enjoyed my video, do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Whoops.